Okay, now you're welcome to today's class. Our lesson today is on active and passive voice. So, today we're going to learn about active and passive voice. Now, we know that in a sentence, there is a subject, an object, and a verb. And how this subject, object, and verb appear in a sentence determines whether the sentence will be active or will be passive voice. Now, a sentence is active voice when the subject performs the action. Okay, when the subject is the performer of the action, then we call the sentence active voice. And on the other hand, when the object performs the action on the verb, then we call the sentence passive voice. So, what are we saying? We are trying to say that the order of subject, verb, object determines whether a sentence is active voice or passive voice. Now, let's look at, of course, what we have said. We've said that for a sentence to be active voice, then the subject must be the performer of the action. The subject performs the action of the verb. Okay? And when the subject performs the action of the verb, we call the sentence what? An active voice. Now we're going to look at some examples of active and passive voice. But for a start, we're going to look at active voice. Now let's look at some sentences. Now we have the first statement is Anna painted the house. Anna painted the house. Now, when you hear this kind of sentence, you see that the subject of the sentence is Anna. The verb is painted, and the house is the object. You can see the order of these subject, verb, object. Okay? So, Anna, the subject, is performing the action of the verb. Okay? So, Anna painted the house is an active voice. Anna painted the house is an example of active voice sentence. Now let's look at another one. Let's look at another example. The teacher always answers the student's question. The teacher always answers the student's question. Now, when you hear this sentence or when you hear this statement, you will notice that students are the students is the object. So, teacher, subject, answers, verb, students, object. Okay, so this, and you can see that the answers is being performed, that is the action of answering the questions is being performed by the teacher. And so in this case, we classify this statement as active voice. Now a third sentence says Ali posted the video online. Ali posted the video online. Again, in this statement, Ali is the subject, posted is the verb, then the video is the object. Now you can see the order: subject, verb, object. Again, this is an example of active voice. Now let's look at passive voice. So we have said that for a passive voice, it is this object that performs the action of the verb. Okay? So the order of arrangement is reversed in this case, so that we have object, verb, subject. Object, verb, subject. Now let's look at the examples. Let's look at the examples of the passive voice statements. Now, reframing the initial sentences we made for active voice, we are going to now hear the passive voice, the version of these sentences that have been reframed to be passive voice. Now, for the statement of passive voice, we now have: the house was painted by Anna. Now you can see now the house, which used to be the object, has come in front, okay, of the verb. So the house, the object, painted, the verb, then Anna, the subject. You can see the order has been reversed. And so sentences like these are all passive voice. Now the second one says the students' questions are answered by the teacher. The students' questions are answered by the teacher. Now, this statement is a passive voice. Why? The students here are the objects. The answered is the verb, remains, but then the teacher, which used to be the subject, has taken the position of where the object is used to be. And so the object now comes before the verb. Okay? Now, again, we have the video was posted online by Ali. So, again, the order of subject, verb, object has been reversed to what? Object, verb, subject. And so the video was posted online by Ali is a passive voice. Now, I hope you can actually make your own sentences and convert them from passive to active, and again convert passive to active and convert active to. You can interconvert these statements from passive to active and from active to passive, knowing the order of arrangement in an active and a passive voice. Thank you for listening. Okay.